The tradition for Mizzou football seniors of grabbing a rock after their final game at Faurot Field didn't come without a thrilling fashion on Saturday. Chiefs fans made the trip here to Academy Sports to celebrate the win and collect their championship gear. They had shirts and hats of different sizes and different colors. Everyone here said the same thing when down double digits. They weren't nervous. The Dallas Cowboys may have been away today, but it was still an action-packed day here at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, with the first practices of Cotton Bowl week getting underway. Inside Mizzou Arena, you can see a number of banners raised to the rafters behind me, mostly honoring NCAA tournament appearances and conference championships. It's kind of died down a little bit. A lot of players, including some Wake Forest ones behind me, they're enjoying the nice weather here in Tampa Bay, and they've had a good day overall. The amendment creates two big changes for college sports in Missouri. The first will allow people like Coach Eli Drinkwitz and Coach Dennis Gates to be involved in finding and negotiating NIL deals with student athletes. You might recognize the guy behind me, Michael Jordan. Many people would argue the greatest player in NBA history. The context of this picture is from the ESPN documentary, The Last Dance, where Jordan notably says he took it personally when opponents talked trash to him. After Missouri football's win over Tennessee on Saturday, it was Tigers defensive coordinator Blake Baker posting that image on X, likely referring to taking it personal to the Volunteers running up the score on the Tigers during last year's 66-24 win in Knoxville. And just like MJ, the Missouri defense playing its absolute best when it mattered most. That unit had their best game of the season on Saturday, giving up a season-low 7 points to Tennessee's high-powered offense. Dalen Carnell's fourth quarter pick six was Missouri defense's first touchdown of the season, one of 3 defensive turnovers forced. Defensive lineman Darius Robinson said after the game that performance and the takeaway specifically was a long time coming. How do you categorize championships in sports? Winning one is an accomplishment, winning 2, and now you're getting to the legendary conversation. But 3, that's the dynasty threshold. 3 championships in the modern era with the same core players when it's harder than ever to keep a great roster together. That's what the Kansas City Chiefs have done this season, continuing to rewrite the record books and solidifying themselves as a dynasty. It was a thrilling way to win the 3rd in 5 years, taking down the 49ers 25-22 in just the 2nd overtime Super Bowl in history on a walk-off touchdown pass from Patrick Mahomes to Mecole Hardman. 3 straight one-score wins as an underdog for the Kansas City Chiefs' 4th Super Bowl title. The game's MVP Mahomes talked about the journey to another Lombardi trophy. Emily, according to ESPN's analytics, Missouri was given just a 0.01% chance to win the game, trailing with just 38 seconds to go, and the rest, well, it's history. Here's a recap from yesterday's win. The tradition for Mizzou football seniors of grabbing a rock after their final game at Faurot Field didn't come without a thrilling fashion on Saturday. A 33-31 comeback for the Tigers, finished off by a 30-yard field goal from Harrison Mevis with 5 seconds left to take the lead. As Eli Drinkwitz said after the game, this win meant a lot for the seniors.
What a way to send the senior class out. Just game's kind of the story of their career. Having to face so many adversity, come from behind, stick together, believe in each other, fight for each other.
Trailing by 1 with under a minute remaining, the Tigers maybe had their play of the year, a 4th and 17 conversion from Brady Cook to Luther Burden III to extend the game for the Tigers. And Cook said afterwards, they don't pull out this close game without close game struggles a season ago.
I don't think we win this game last year. I don't think we do. And I think that's the development and the toughness and the grit that this team has. I'm just so proud of our team, man. It's super special.
The Tigers improved to 9-2 with the victory and will likely keep their spot in the top 10 of the college football playoff rankings, meaning just a win next Friday against Arkansas will likely put the Tigers in a spot to play in a New Year's Six bowl. Before making noise as Missouri Tigers, both defensive lineman Jaden Jernigan and wide receiver Theo Weiss Jr. started their football careers here at Allen High School, just about 30 minutes away from AT&T Stadium here in North Texas, as both Theo and Jaden look to possibly conclude their Tiger careers in the place that it started.
Oh, it's amazing. It's like a full circle.
I'm glad that this is the setting. Possibly my last college game, being back at home.
Their North Texas home, where their high school coaches remember where it all began.
Theo I've known, since junior high. When he was in 9th grade, he's just tall and athletic and could run.
When he was playing in high school, he was really strong and very athletic. The thing that I loved about him is when he came to practice, he was preparing to be successful for Friday nights.
Not just on the field.
They were fantastic. Yes, sir, no, sir. Made great grades in school. They had great families behind them.
Hard worker. Very committed to academics, very committed to the team.
Bringing that character from Allen to Columbia.
It just helped me be more prepared for the stage, because I feel like going out in high school, you already get looked at as a Dallas Cowboy.
Now getting ready to return to play at the home of the Dallas Cowboys.
Played in there about 8 times.
Yeah, I think I played in there about 9 times. I got a winning record in there. Trying to keep that going.
No win bigger in that stadium than a state title win for Allen in 2017.
Yeah, we had our state championship game there. 75,000 people. We still hold the record for it.
State championship game, first play of the game. Quarterback fumbled and Jaden grabbed it and went and scored to open the game.
Hoping to repeat history back in Jerry's world, wearing a different jersey.
Our whole message is something to prove. We still haven't finished it, so we still want to go ahead and finish it.
I mean everything. Just be an 11-win season. That's a great season.
And their advice from their former coaches.
Play it like you did when you were a kid. There doesn't have to be anything that's different. I mean, just go out there, have fun with your teammates, be a kid.
Go have fun, guys, and bring home a win.
Representing well to their hometown community.
And that's the thing that I've always loved about the Allen Eagle kids is they love their teammates. And it's a special bond here in Allen because of the kids, the families. It's all about Allen Eagles.
The people, the town, everyone supports the school. Not just the football team, but the band and the cheer and the trainers and everybody involved. And they keep up with them. And those kids are important not only while they're here, but also after they graduate.
The end of a chapter in the place that their story began.
When you're able to just play in Dallas, it's different. They say it's best high school football. Now we get to show everything we did in high school. We get to come to the big leagues with it.
I love Allen. I'll always be there when I can, when I'm back in town and whatnot. And hopefully one day I'm coaching for Allen High School.
It took a whole year to score this goal, but now some Mid-Missouri women are making history on the pitch with the first ever women's pro club in Mid-Missouri. History is being made in Columbia this summer.
The history of this is perfect timing.
AFC Columbia is becoming the first ever women's semi-professional sports team in Mid-Missouri.
There's a lot of momentum around soccer and women's soccer. The NWSL is growing. So this is the ideal time for us to start a club. The interest in soccer is booming.
Leading the team is Coach Curtis Bordson, a Mid-Missouri resident who coached the men's team last season.
Go back long. You're gonna show
He says he's excited to show off the talent Mid-Missouri has to offer.
We were excited to get a lot of players from this area, and similar to last year's men's team, it was all about what would it be like to put together a lot of the best players from this area, and I think we're getting a lot of that.
The club enters the Women's Premier Soccer League, the world's largest women's league, and one that assistant coach Allie Spafford has experience in.
Oh, I'm a former WPSL player. I played for the Texas Spurs, so I'm familiar with the WPSL league in general. When I moved to Columbia, it was kind of something that I was, looking around on my radar to help get involved either playing or coaching wise.
And the club is filling its roster with familiar faces.
I'm from Columbia.
North of Kansas City, not originally from Columbia, but I do live here. I've lived here 2 years now.
Faces focused on growing the game right here in Mid-Missouri.
Growing up, we always had to go to St. Louis or Kansas City, so I'm hopeful that this will maybe kind of bring more awareness to soccer here in Columbia so that we can have more opportunities, at least for the people who are younger.
I've always traveled to Kansas City to watch Sporting KC, to watch their games, so to be able to have a team to support and a team to look up to is really cool.
With those local fans having the chance to one day play in their own backyard.
Now they've got a team that they can watch and be excited for, and then get to throw on the blue one day and represent their part of the state.
And the final goal of making this team about the community.
If you like Ted Lasso, this is an opportunity to support something here locally. This is all our community. These are your players. You see them all the time. Now it's a chance to really put Columbia on the map from a soccer sense.
As the team gears up for a season to remember.
1, 2, 3, AFC!
SEC!
Harrison Vapnek has the best from that day in this week's Tiger Top 5.
What a difference a year makes. A 42-point loss a year ago in Knoxville, and 364 days later, the Tigers return the favor at Faroe with a 29-point win. Here are the top plays from the redemption game. At number 5, touchdown Luther does it again. Luther Burden III makes the catch in the flat and takes it 21 yards for the score. All he does is score touchdowns.
Touchdown to Luther Burden.
At play 4, a game-swinging takeaway from the Tigers defense. Tristan Newson lays the big hit and recovered by Chuck Hicks for Tennessee running backs' first fumble of the season.
Ball came out of the end. Missouri's got it if it's a fumble.
At number 3, Brady Cook finds the end zone once again. A fake pitch to Nate Pete, and Cook goes down the middle 3 yards for his 6th rushing score of the year. More from Missouri's ground attack coming up. At play 2, the first Tigers defensive touchdown of the season. Dalen Cornell jumps the route and stares down Joe Milton on path for a pick 6.
And it's intercepted. Picked off. This will be a pick 6 for Dalen Cornell.
An exclamation point on the defense's best game of the season. No one else to place at number 1 than Cody Schrader. A career performance, rushing for over 200 yards and receiving for another 116. The first player in SEC history to accomplish that mark. The former Division II back, now the SEC's leading rusher. Only a story you'd see in the movies. Wendell, what might be the most important game, on this schedule? There's a lot of them. We have defending national champions Georgia, LSU on the SEC West last year. Obviously, the rivalry with South Carolina and Arkansas. What game would you say is the single most important one on that slate? It was a pretty sick experience. You could say it was a sicker experience. This is our front page of the Missourian this week with the hero of the game, Harrison Mevis. The two Harrisons right here, Harrison Vapnek, Harrison Mevis. It's a good week for all of us, especially number 92 for the Tigers, who kicked the game-winning 61-yard field goal as time expired to defeat Kansas State 30-27. It was the longest kick in SEC history. There was pandemonium all on the field. The Storm, Eli Drinkwitz, is now 3-0 for the first time in his Missouri tenure. Right now, not joined alongside the Missourian football beat writers. That's because they're already up in the alleyway. We're doing something a little bit different today. Instead of hypothetically projecting Missouri's bowl matchup, we are taking matters into our own hands. We have 8 pins lined up here in the RJI hallway. Going to break down 8 potential opponents for Missouri football in their bowl game coming up in the next month or so. Joined alongside Brandon Haynes, Adam Ryerson, Wendell Shepard. Good seeing you guys in a non-studio spot. Yeah. Tennessee was the number 1 team in the country. They were undefeated. They had 3 or 4 false start penalties on the first quarter in their first couple of drives. This team has not traveled super well in the last couple of years. And Ryerson, you are dying to say something right now, but I think we have to mention that this team went to Florida and they scored in the opening drive, and I don't think they scored a touchdown for the rest of the game. They went to Alabama, had a decent first half, and then took their foot off the gas from there. Last year at South Carolina, the Gamecocks scored 5 touchdowns in their first 5 drives. This team has really struggled going on the road. What do you got?
The road's been really tough for them.